Welcome to the latest edition of On The Bit, your weekly preview of the weekend's racing. I'm David from Dream Thoroughbreds, and with me is Lenny from Bluegrass Bloodstock. How are you, Lenny?
Very good day.
Had a good week?
Great week. Good to be here at the G.
Yep, we're at the prestigious MCG, the venue of the AFL preliminary final this week. And racing goes to Caulfield for the Group 1 Highland Race Colours Underwood Stakes over 1800 metres. And who do you like in the Underwood this week, Lenny?
Great race with great depth, but on the bit is Manigar. He's drawn a wide gate, but it's a good start at Caulfield over the 1800. They've got plenty of time to get across. He'll get in by Vulici and Illo, and I think he'll just travel in lovely on the speed behind them. His run had to be seen to be believed last week behind Southern Speed.
Certainly beat.
Certainly beat. Just was looking for runs here and there, and finally got out and chased it really hard and only got beaten a nose. She had the fitness edge on him. She doesn't have it this time, and I think he'll be beating her. Have a big watch on Ocean Park coming across from New Zealand. He won a Group 1 over 1400 against a pretty good field. King Mufasa was in it. Also, I'll be watching December Draw second up. I think he'll be getting fitter, and you can't discount Southern Speed. If there's any queries, unluckiness to the other runners, she'll be right there.
Yeah, absolutely. A great weight for age event to start the Group 1s for the spring. The big field should be some genuine pace in this weight for age race. I like the same two that you like, Lenny. Manigar's obviously the horse to beat. Trained on the track, unlucky last start. I think he gets a fair run midfield, and he won't have the same problems he had getting out last start. But the horse I actually think will beat him is the New Zealander Ocean Park. I think he's a 4-year-old now. He ran a couple of great races in the Group 1s in the Sydney Autumn. He started first up this campaign in New Zealand in a weight for age race over 1400 and won quite easily coming from the back. Again, I think he'll park worse than midfield. G-Boss takes the ride. He won last week, the weight for age event. And I think from about the 200 when he unleashes his finish, he'll actually come over the top of Manigar in the end. So I pick him to win. Great Quinella in this race, so I'd load up on that Quinella. They're both on the bit for me. Sydney, we go to Randwick, and we've got the Group 1 George Main Stakes over 1600 metres. Who do you like in that, Len?
Shootout for me. I think he's on the bit. 3 trials this time in, been very good. First up, great fresh record, loves the distance, loves the track, and he's also, his form over the mile last prep, he's run a second to More Joyce in a Doncaster. He's won at Chipping Norton over Dan Lee. I think Waller's just got him right. Also, I think Secret Admirer is a danger. I don't know if she can beat him, but I think she's a danger. I think she was vulnerable second up when she ran second at Dan Lee last start. Only got beaten under a length. A big plus for her, she loves Randwick. 2 of her three wins in her lifetime career starts have been there.
In Group 1s. Yeah.
And Group 1s, and she loves them all, so I think she'll be right there.
I'm with you on this one, Lenny. Shootout for mine. Only one horse in this race. Big track horse. I think C. Waller's second preparation for him. I think he knows the horse. He started him off this campaign a little bit behind the others, so he's coming first up into this race. But he trialled over 1200 last a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, I think he'll be ready for the 1600. Hugh Bowman goes on. Hugh Bowman actually rode Dane Lee last start for the win. He's jumped off to jump on Shootout. I think that means that's your guide. Once he comes up the rise, I think Bowman will just let him come up the rise, and once they go over the rise, I think he'll unleash, and I think he'll be too strong for them. No dangers for mine. Shootout wins on the bit. Stable news this week. We've got a couple of our horses running this week, or hopefully running. We've got Fruling in the Naturalism on Saturday. He's first emergency at the moment, so we've kept him in Melbourne. He actually was entered for Adelaide in the Tokyo City Cup, but Anthony Freedman has chosen to take a chance and leave him in Melbourne, which I think is the right move. He really needs to have a run over the 2000. If he does get into this race, it is a free ticket into the Caulfield Cup, and that's what dreams are made of. If he does miss a run, he will actually go to the JRA Stakes next Friday night at Moonee Valley. So we'll update you next week if he's going down that path. But so Fruling, if he gets a run, look out for him on Saturday. The other horse we've got running during the week is Beringer, heading to sale next Wednesday, over 1400 in a benchmark 78. Again, he should be really prove hard to beat. Nominations come out tomorrow. He won't be $13 this time though, so if you missed out on last week's $13, unfortunately, he will be in the finish though, so have a little each way ticket again on Beringer. What have you got for stable news this week, Lenny?
Bluegrass has got Lopov running in the Kalgoorlie Cup on Saturday. He was scratched last week. The trainer just didn't want to run him 3 weekends in a row.
Yeah.
So he's opted to just go straight into the Kalgoorlie Cup over 2300, and that's what he was purchased for over there. So, and also last week we were talking about Australia. The sale was completed, and there was a reported figure of about 1.2, which was of a year's investment. It's not too bad. So
good return. That's the returns we want. And what's the distance of that Kalgoorlie Cup?
It's 2300.
Yeah, so that should suit Lopov right down to the ground, shouldn't it?
Down to the ground. He won over a mile last start, so that's perfect.
He's won at Flemington over 2400 or something?
No, he won at Caulfield over 24,
yep.
And he won at Moonee Valley over the 2000.
Yeah.
And at Orfordville over 2500. So.
Yep, so when you load up at Caulfield on Saturday, you've got the Kalgoorlie Cup probably about 6 o'clock on Saturday evening, so make sure you go and watch it. Our value bets for the weekend, Lenny. What have you got in your value bets for the weekend? Anything you've picked out?
Pretty much touched on Lopov, and that is my value bet for the weekend, just simply because he was purchased as a stayer. He's won over a mile 2 weekends ago at Belmont. It was a good win. He's been set for this Kalgoorlie Cup. They're really happy with him. Field's moderate. He's got City Saturday form in Melbourne, and that goes a long way over there. I think it'll be pretty hard to hold out.
It looks good to me too. Yeah, I think we'll get on that one. I've got two at Caulfield this week. I've got race 6, number 13, Spitfire Lady. I was very impressed with this Hassanay filly. She won a maiden at Seymour a couple of weeks ago, and she won it on the bit. She won by 2 lengths, and they didn't let her off the bit. She just canted up to them, straight past them. She had plenty in hand. I reckon she would have won it by 6 lengths and they'd let her go. It was only over 1200. I do really think this filly has 1,000 guineas chance. So I expect her to be very competitive this week over the 1400. So she's on the bid for mine at $8 fixed odds. I think you may even get $10, double figures on Saturday on the TAP or something like that. So I'd wait, but she's great each way value. The other value bet I've got is in Caulfield Race 8, number 8, Cuban Sunday. He's actually running in the naturalism as well, so this is assuming Fruling doesn't get a run. Obviously think Fruling will go very close if he does get a run, but Cuban Sunday meets a similar field to what he beat last start. He went up 18 rating points for that win, and he meets him on similar weight scale. So he's actually $17 at fixed odds. The 2,000 metres, the jump up to 2,000 metres, is really going to suit him down to the ground. I think he's outstanding each way value in this race, and I'd back him. He's on the bit. So our on the bit and off the bit specials for the weekend, Lenny. So last week I labelled Green Moon a bit of a special, and you named it as your off the bit lay of the day, and who was right?
It was a nose.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
There was a nostril in it, but Lenny's got the score on the board. So Lenny won, Dave nil. So what's your on the bit special for the weekend?
I've got 2, Dave. I'm going to go to Caulfield Race 1 to begin with a Quinella. Let's Be Happy and Shopaholic.
Yep.
Shopaholic is a class runner in the field. She's unbeaten at the track. Great fresh record.
Yeah.
And has got a scalp over Mosheen. Beaten Mosheen, so
good scalp to have.
It's a good scalp to have. Let's Be Happy. She is a horse that once she finds form, which she won last start, she just generally holds it. She strung at least 4 or 5 wins together last preparation. I think she's back on track, so she's going to be right there. Chad Schofield on to claim. She gets him well.
Yep.
So I can't see them not finishing out of the top 2, those 2. So great Quinella. And the other on the bit special is a horse in Sydney in the Hill Stakes, the Gloaming, sorry. It's a done deal. I've been following this horse from New Zealand, and unbeaten. He's won 3 from 3. His last start at Canterbury, benchmark 70, beat the older horses, tight track, steps up in distance this time, and High Chaparral's son, I just think he's going to be hard to beat. I would say to viewers, follow this horse because I think he will win the Victoria Derby. So once the prices come out, get on.
Yep, on the bit, Lenny. Okay, I'm going to Morfordville this weekend for my On the Bit special. Anthony Freedman, I think he'll have a very good day in Adelaide at Morfordville in race 5, number 5, Florence. In a mare's event over 1,200 metres. She won a nice race on the Geelong Synthetic last start. First up from a spell, she sat 3 wide. And she actually sprinted from the turn, sitting 3 wide. We actually didn't think she'd hold on, and she just sprinted and beat a handy field that day. I think she'll improve with fitness. She's actually down 5.5 kilos on winning last start, and she meets the favourite draw forward, 4 kilos better for being beaten by a couple of lengths last sprint. So she should be around the sort of $3 to $4, hoping to get about $4 on her. She just wins on the bid for mine, so get on Florence, race 5, number 5. I'll give you another one actually at Adelaide. Race 8, number 4, Gonna Be a Rock Star. He was beaten by our very own Beringer last start. He looked like the winner, all over the winner at the 100 metre mark, until Beringer launched down the outside and grabbed him in the shadows of the post. He goes to an Adelaide race, which is against goats for mine. He just wins on the bit. Just load up on him, he's your banker for the weekend. So off the bit last week we had 2 lays for the weekend. I laid Strawberry Boy, who finished 3rd, and Lenny laid Green Mood, who got beat in a photo finish. So what's your off the bit lay for the weekend, Lenny?
Off the bit this weekend is in the Underwood Stakes. I love the horse, but I just think that he's off the bit this weekend, and that's Sincero. I think his win had a lot of merit over 1,400, but he's a very good fresh horse. I question the depth of that Memsie Stakes, apart from the second horse who's come on and won at her next start. The rest I question. And his record past a mile is non-existent. He hasn't won past a mile, and he's going from 14 to 18 against a very strong Group 1 field. I think he's going to be very vulnerable, and when the whips are cracking, I just don't think he'll be there.
I'm sticking your neck out there, Lenny, but I'll probably lay him too. He's not my horse for the weekend. My off the bit lay for the weekend is one of your favourites, Lenny. Race 6, number 8, Commanding Jewel at Caulfield. I think she's off the bit this time for mine. She's in a very competitive race this weekend. She's had it all her own way the first 2 wins of her career, and I just think it's going to be a competitive race, a lot of speed up front. I think she'll get caught out on a limb for much of the race, and on the turn I think she'll be off the bit. At $2.50, she's definitely the lay for me, off the bit this weekend. So good luck, Lenny. Hopefully we have a good day on the punt, and we'll see you next week.
Let's hope Crawling gets a start and we go.
Absolutely.